Hey, friends, welcome back to the Call to Lead podcast. So, today's episode is going to be continuing our new series of starting and growing your business with a solid foundation using a brand new acronym, GROW, GROW. So, last week we talked about gratitude and the importance of starting with that in the journey so far that's brought you to where you are. Today, we're going to be talking about results, which is something that not everyone actually even sets the tone for when they start a business or they're looking to grow a business. Or sometimes people set their sights a little too high, or sometimes they set them a little too small. So, we're going to be talking about success and what the results that you want look like in your business. And of course, in case you're curious, we will dive deeper into the O and the W, which stands for opportunities to take action, which ultimately refine who you are. And then the W stands for who. Who can you impact through your journey, which is ultimately what is going to grow your business, is taking your experiences, your story, getting out of your head in the comparison, setting results, taking advantage of the opportunities right in front of you, growing through whatever happens from that, so that you can serve the who's that inevitably will come your way in this business. So let's dive into today's episodes talking about results. Okay, so let's dig into the topic of results. And just to summarize again, the GROW acronym is going to be starting your business from a place and foundation of gratitude, whether you are a part of Restore and just getting started and just getting going, or you are listening to this years down the road and maybe just joined, or maybe you're with a completely different company and you want to be able to kind of kick things into gear in your own business. Start with gratitude. Go back and listen to the episode that I recorded last week to start this off. And today we're going to focus on the R, which stands for the results that you want in your business. And so I'm curious, if you're listening to this, are you like me, where you are a big dreamer and the reason that you signed up for this is you know what's possible? Maybe you've gotten hit up over the years, like, direct message after direct message of like, hey girl, do you want to make a bajillion dollars doing this business? Or do you want to work, your business from anywhere? All of these things. And you have enough awareness around the possibilities within this industry. And you're like, okay, I don't know if I can do this, but I would love to have those big goals and dreams. That was definitely me. I'd had, some not so great experiences, but enough of a taste to know that there was something special about what was possible in this business. But there are others of you who are listening who are kind of on the other spectrum. You might be aware that, yeah, there are some people, and full disclosure, it is less than 1% that are going to make that crazy amount. But we'll talk more about that in a minute, okay? Because that's not what most people are looking for. Because it's highly likely that you are on the opposite end of the spectrum where yeah, okay, these things, there are big things that are possible, but you don't know that, number one, if you can even achieve that or if that could be possible for you. And ultimately, you just want to fill the income gap that you need for your family. And that's almost always just a few $100s. And so you want and desire those results thinking that they're impossible or that it's not possible for you because maybe you've had a really bad experience in another company. And so whether or not you are a big goal getter, a big dreamer like me, or you have struggled to set goals in your business or even know what the results are that you want from this business, either way, I think this is going to help give you a perspective. So there's three things I want you to remember when it comes to setting the results for your business. And first of all, you cannot hit a target that you can't see. So if you aim for nothing, meaning if you don't set results or a desired end goal in your business, you are going to miss that every time. So just like if you were to just, take up archery and you're just like shooting arrows all over the place, like you're not going to know what the heck you're even aiming at, let alone if you're getting better and better each time you shoot the arrow and aim for the target. So it's really important, first of all, to set the tone that you need to set and identify the results that you are looking like in your business, keeping in mind that your results are going to be different than what your friend or your mentor or your downline that joins your business. They're going to be different. Success looks different to everyone based on their past experiences, based on the momentum or even the reach that they may have had in another business, whether that's network marketing or not. Success and what individual people, what you are looking for, is going to look different for everyone. But if you don't identify what that result is that you're looking for or what success looks like for you, or if you have someone on your team or branch, if you're with a part of Restore and you're not helping them figure out what results they're looking for and what success looks like for them, you're missing the point of what's even possible in this business because you don't even know what you're aiming for. And so the first thing that I want you to remember is you need to decide, maybe today, listening to this podcast, and write it down. What are the results that you are looking for? And obviously financially is one of those things that, is kind of a given that this is a business. Profitability is one of our 3 pillars. We partner with great people to develop amazing products to then help those people create a business that generates a profit. And so if you're a part of network marketing, you should treat this like a business. And in turn, you should make money and make more money than you're spending. And so if you're doing that, you likely do have an idea of what that income that you might want in your pocket or need. And again, it's going to be different. You might have come from another experience like I did where you did really well and you kind of maybe developed your lifestyle around an income that was pretty cush. And so you need that income. Now, can you adjust your lifestyle down? Absolutely, of course. But if you've done it before, my friend, you can do it again, whether or not that's with Restore, as long as you can find a company that you align with their mission, vision, and values, and you love the product. And again, sometimes it takes a learning curve, whatever the product is, to kind of fall in love with it enough to be able to share it. And so take as much time as it needs. But if you have that secret recipe, you can be successful, especially if you've done it before in the past. And so if you, kind of like me, have a need or a result that is to get back to that income level that you needed and desired, know that it will take time, but it's absolutely possible for you. But if you're not reaching for that, and if you're not setting a tone for what that number looks like, you're probably not going to hit it. Because again, if you aim for nothing, you are going to hit it every time. And so I want you to decide today, based off of this, what results are you looking for? What is it that you want financially from this business? Also, concurrently with that, as Bob Heilig says, this is like a personal development plan with a compensation plan attached. So what are maybe the areas around your life that you need a little bit, more refinement around, or the results that you're looking for? And maybe that's to be able to spend more time with your family, or to be able to have the self-control to put the phone down and to do your business in a different way and not feel like you have to be a slave to social media in order to be successful. Because as you know, if you listen to my podcast, that's something I'm super passionate about and have been for years. And we developed Restore specifically around giving you the freedom to operate your business on or off social, or a mix of both. But what are the results, even outside financially, that you want? Knowing, again, some people like me, I live to work. Some people work to live. Some people are like, I want to sit on the beach. I want to relax. I want to, take naps. I'm the opposite. I want to love my job. I love working. In fact, I have to tone it down and work less because I enjoy it. I love that. And I think that the Lord made me that way. And it's going to be different from someone else, right? And actually, Roger and I are even different in that regard. He's a hard worker. He's incredibly diligent, but he does work to live, whereas I kind of sometimes live to work. So what is it that you're looking for? For me, the result that I want is a job that I love, where I can run the business the way that lights me up, that leans into my gifts, and link arms with others who lift me up in a way that I'm weak, including working with Roger or our team or our amazing founding partner mentors. So what are the results financially, not financially? What are you looking for? And realize that they're going to be different for you than for your new teamie that joins your team, than for your mentor that's been doing this forever. And that is okay. But first thing I want you to remember is, what are the results? What does success look like for you? The second thing I want you to remember, and this is kind of targeted towards you big dreamers, or for those that might be on your branch or your team that are big dreamers, while it's important to think big, and I do, trust me, I live my life like 10 years in advance. I know exactly what we're working towards, both financially, big picture, long term, and I have those big dreams and those big goals. But you've got to think small. You've got to start small in order to get there. And what's really cool about certainly Restore's compensation plan, but most compensation plans that are out there, is they're baby steps to get to where you want to go. And yes, the top end level of any compensation plan, you're going to make, everyone's going to be a little bit different. ours is designed to be to where we want a bulk of the income to come in the middle because we want to reward our goal isn't, although I think people will do very well at the tippy top. Our goal is not to pad the comp plan for those few, but to try to make something generous, especially for those who are working their way towards those big goals. So I want you, if you are a big dreamer, or if you know a big dreamer, or you have someone on your branch that is a dreamer, to think small. What's the next step for you? Is it to raise your personal sales and reach for something like the momentum incentive or the next commission sales tier for Restore? Or what's the next rank that you can go for if you're a partner with Restore? What's like the very next one? And you may have goals to hit, pinnacle partner, right? But like if you're at gold partner, the next step for you is going to be star partner, which for us is finding one branch with 500 in volume and having 2,000 in volume from either yourself or anyone else on your branch, whether that's just the two of you if you have a branch, or whether it's a collective within your team. But if you want to reach pinnacle, you got to get to gold. So then what's it going to take to get to that next rank for you? So if you are a big dreamer, I want you to remember that it's important to break down those goals into the smaller bite-sized baby steps and reach for that, knowing that if you keep doing that over and over and over again, and even if you're walking or jogging, like if you just keep putting one foot in front of the other, you will get to those big goals eventually. And it will take time. It will. I've seen a lot of people join this business with big dreams and goals and get really discouraged when they do the first little step and don't see those big results right away. That's not normal. That is not normal. And if there's a compensation plan that is built based around that to where it's like, oh, I made like $10,000 in the first month, then there's some questions that I have about that because that's not something that's going to be sustainable for that company profitability wise. So what they're doing is they're padding it in the front end to be able to get people like on a get rich quick scheme. And that's not what we're about here. We are unapologetic that this will take time to get to those big dreams and big goals. It will. I don't care if you have come from another big company. I don't care if you have another big following. I don't care if you're a founding partner mentor or just joined today, even if that's a year from when this podcast drops. Big dreams, big goals in this business are going to take time. But if you want to get there, take baby steps to get there. And if you're a part of Restore, we actually designed what we call our fast track program. We just rolled it out last month, which is really exciting, to where we even reward you and your mentor. So if you have someone on your team that's like this, we reward you for taking baby steps to rank in the first 6 months of your business. So you actually get rewarded by taking those steps. Now, if you do it quicker, those rank rewards are cumulative. And we've seen that even this month in our first launch month here, where people are stacking and they're ranking quickly and they are able to generate those bonuses really fast. So if that is you and you are able to do that, awesome. That's amazing. You should be so proud. But if you aren't, know that that's normal and that's not the expectation, and that we've designed that first 6 months of your business, if you are a partner, to be able to, kind of take those baby steps going forward. Okay. So that's the second thing I want you to remember is if you are a big dreamer or if you have a big dreamer on your branch, I want you to think small. I want you to take baby steps. I want you to break down that big goal into what's the next thing you want to reach for, whether that's sales, whether that's enrollment, whether that's rank. What is it that you want in the end? What is that result? And know that it's okay to have those big goals. But what can you do right now? What can you reach for this month or this week? What can you do today to move your business forward one step at a time? So the third thing I want you to remember, and this is for those of you guys who might not be thinking big enough, and I would say that's most people, you guys, people are so sick of, the narrative of like, oh, you can be like me and, just make 6 figures doing the thing. Because really, like, I know a lot of stories that people have done that and the fulfillment is not there. That's not what is going to make you feel fulfilled, is to go, number one, do really successful yourself when no one else is having success in this business. So I want you to embrace the fact that there are a lot of people that truly don't feel like they can even dream of setting what's possible in this business. And so they are, I don't want to say small thinkers because that sounds like an insult when it's not a bad thing. It's really not. But I want to encourage you, if you're thinking like, oh man, if I could just make a couple $100s a month. Or, one of my favorite stories is a mentor that was on, she's not even a part of Restore, but I adore her dearly. She was one of my leaders in the previous company. I remember my mentor asking her, what are your goals for this year in this business? And she was already rocking and rolling. She had, done well, in her business, but she said, gosh, if I could just make a couple $1,000s a month, which is actually a really big goal. That was exactly my goal when I started as well. And so, for most people, that's more in the big dreamer side of things. But my mentor encouraged her that she was thinking too small. And she said, listen, the way that your business is going, and we actually had one of her leaders that was with us at that moment, and she had huge goals. She was a big dreamer. And she's like, listen, if you want to help her get those big dreams, she's like, your yearly target of $24,000 is actually more likely something that you could do in a month. And that I remember seeing the light bulbs go off, not just for her, actually, it was pretty eye-opening for me as well to think like, wait, that's possible that you can make that kind of income in a month and not a year. And so whether it's $200 a month that you're looking, and that's the result that you feel on your heart, or whether it's $2,000 a month or whatever that is, this business model, absolutely, it is possible, because especially our comp plan is based in volume, whether that's yourself, others, whether that's someone who is an advocate and has small goals, right? Like they're not looking to grow to pinnacle partner. Like they just like the product and want to share the link with their friends and families, which is can be a small goal. Sometimes we also have a lot of big influencers that are in that advocate program because it is right for them, right? Or maybe they are running for big goals in another company. And so they're an advocate with us to share the product just because they think it supplements what they sell, but they don't have big goals in this company because they've got really big ones at another. And so you are going to have people on your team that don't have the same big goals as you. And you want to honor that, first of all. But if what's holding them back is thinking that it's not possible for them to make the kind of money that can be done through hard work. And again, it's not going to be for everybody. It is going to be for like the top 1%. It just is, because most people don't take the actions. They don't believe they can do it. But if you don't help them realize what is possible and that it will take time, but that in that instance of my leader, within a few years, I mean, it did take years, but she absolutely got to where that desired result she was looking for in that year, she was able to do in 1 month. So I want to encourage you that whether you are a big dreamer and you have big goals for your business, or you've got big goals that are beautiful ones to set, because guess what? You can do that. You can reverse engineer it to where if you need to make $200 a month to close that income gap, or pay for, gymnastics for your kid or dance lessons, or maybe it's $500 a month. You can reverse engineer based on our comp plan to know that, for example, if you sell $1,000 in our product in 1 month, that is going to be at least $250 if you're an advocate, because that's going to be in our 25% sales tier. Plus, you're going to get $50 in product credit that month, which is pretty freaking cool. So you're going to make at least $250 to $300 if you sell $1,000, which I don't know anyone in this season right now who could not use an extra $200 to $300, right? Like everybody, that's a blessing to people. And it's so fun when I process commissions each week to see so many of our Restore partners hitting that level, because I think that's the one that can be the biggest difference maker. And that is a beautiful thing. My goal is to help millions of people make that extra $200 to $300. It's not to help people make millions of dollars. Sorry, I know that might be a big dreamer goal for some of you guys. And is it possible? Possibly. That's not my goal. My goal is to help the everyday family fill that income gap that they need. And that's what most people are looking for. But when you achieve that, my friend, and you do have that small goal, and you can see, you know what? Maybe there is more that's possible for me. Maybe I really can kind of create the kind of income that can give that freedom to retire, from your job, to be able to step back and work from home with your family. That kind of income absolutely is possible in any business and network marketing through hard work and through diligence and patience. It does take time to get there. And so I want you to focus on your goals, focus on the results that you want, and realize that everyone's going to be different. I want you to, if you're a big dreamer, kind of think small and break it down. If you are maybe have small dreams and small goals, hit those goals, and then know that you can build up to some really big, amazing things if you just set your sights on it. Because again, you cannot achieve results that you don't see possible for yourself. And so I'm going to wrap us up in prayer. But I love this conversation, and I can't wait to see how it blesses your business. Lord, thank you so much for those that are listening to this, whether they're a part of Restore or not. We know that they are aligned in our mission to do this business in a different way. And I believe that there is something really special in this business model when people can get out of their fleshly nature of comparison or greed or fear that holds them back from what's possible and lean into doing this business the right way, one person at a time, but by setting some clear results and some clear things that they're working towards, knowing that whether that's a big goal and they want to take baby steps and have the patience to get there over time, or whether it's achieving the small goals so that they can reach for bigger goals in the future. Lord, I just ask that you speak to those that are listening and just whisper to their heart what's possible for them, and that if they trust you and they look to you above all for the next idea, for the next person, and realize that you are the provider of every single dollar, if what they're looking for is financially related, that it's coming from you. And that again, if they're not going to be a good steward of what you've already given them, that you probably are going to be giving them more in that way. And so just help them look to you, Lord, for the desires that you have put on their heart, and help them believe that with your help that they can get there and they can do it. And thank you again for the blessing of being able to create this company to be able to help people do that. And I am just so grateful for the blessing in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, guys, I hope this episode was a blessing. Can't wait to dive in next week to the O, which is all about opportunities that are all around you to take action and let those opportunities refine you so that in the last episode in this series, you can focus on your who's and who you can serve from your journey. So thanks for listening, guys. I hope you have a beautiful week. Yay.